Let's talk about Overlord, because apparently it's not enough to be one Decepticon. Oh no, he's a tank and a jet that combine into one massive robot, who also turns into... what's this?
A base mode.
Yeah, more like a campsite for evil. Like Megatron's gone, we'll invade Earth, but make it glamping. Now the G1 toy, late 80s enormous, came with more bits than an IKEA wardrobe, ramps, guns, connectors, stickers that fell off if you looked at them funny. And the best bit, two tiny Power Masters, Giga and Mega. They plugged into him to unlock his power. And if you lose one, that's your retirement plan gone. A complete set now. 800 to $1,000. That's not a toy, that's a mortgage deposit. Now Mastermind Creations, the third-party masterpiece, costs more than a holiday. Transforms smoother than Bond around a woman named after a sexual innuendo. You put it on your shelf and it judges you. Like, oh, you still buy mainline Hasbro? How quaint. So yeah, Overlord. Massive, expensive, slightly unhinged, turns into a campsite, comes with two tiny minions and costs as much as your car. 10 out of 10 would remortgage again. Fire Guts Ginrai, because apparently Ginrai, already a truck combined with a robot combined with another robot, just wasn't dramatic enough. So someone looked at him and went, yeah, but what if he was on fire? So context. This isn't some normal release. This is eHobby 2001, which horrifyingly is now vintage. We are officially old. I hate this information. They took the original Super Ginrai brick, king of chonky 80s engineering, and repainted him the color of a solar flare having a breakdown. He is so orange you can use him as an emergency beacon. Stand him near a window and aircraft start lining up to land. And because he's eHobby, the price is absolute nonsense. This isn't collecting. This is high-risk emotional trading, crypto for people who know what Power Masters are. In Master Force, Ginrai is a lovely bloke powered by friendship. Fire Guts Ginrai looks like he's fueled by monster energy, burning spirit, and a motivational speech at 3 a.m. So yeah, Fire Guts Ginrai, symbol of courage, spiritual ascension, Uhura conviction. No, he is very, very orange. Welcome back to Transformers for people with problems. Today's problem is Chromedome, the Autobot who looks like he's been divorced twice, and it was his fault both times. The G1 toy is what happens when design meetings end early. He's a brown rectangle with limbs. Styler, his headmaster partner, looks like someone who's about to ask to speak to your manager, but politely, like he rehearsed it in the car. Transforming him feels like you're filing taxes. It happens every year. It's never satisfying, and you question your life choices afterwards. And then there's Cupola. Chromedome, but he started journaling, and now he wants to talk about it at you. He's posable premium and weighs the same as emotional baggage. You pose him once and immediately think, oh God, I care about this, don't I? In Headmasters, he sounds like someone apologizing for existing. In IDW, he's a walking heartbreak subplot. In Rebirth, he just wants to go home. Don't we all? So yes, Chromedome, a car, a man, a cautionary tale. Right, put it on the shelf. Pretend everything's fine.
Today's problem is gigantic action Scorpinok. A figure that answers the question, what if a Transformer was enormous and then just stopped there? This thing is gigantic. It's not a toy, it's a lodger. It lives in your house now. Rent? Never heard of it. And yet, despite being the size of a small appliance, it does not transform at all. No, not even a little bit. He is a posable monument to poor impulse control. Now don't get me wrong, he looks incredible. He has that G1 cartoon model sheet energy, but also the energy of, I cost more than your sofa, and I know it! And then, right after buying him, Hasbro released a generation Scorpinok that does transform, has articulation, is enormous, and costs half what I paid. It was like watching your ex join a gym and start making better life choices. Because I am apparently unwell, I also bought the black Zarak repaint, the one you buy when you have nothing left to prove and nowhere left to go. So yes, gigantic action Scorpinok. Shrine to the moment you realize the hobby owns you now. Right, put it on the shelf. Pretend everything's fine.
Today's problem is G1 Cyclonus, a purple monolith who transforms fine. But it feels like he's just letting you do it, like he's tolerating being handled. You're not turning him into a jet, you're being permitted. In robot mode, he's a goth obelisk with legs, tall, sharp, regal. He stands there like a statue that's seen things and will not elaborate. Jet mode is a long, sleek space dart that screams elegant. And please don't touch the nose cone. There's a Target Master version too. They gave him a tiny friend whose whole personality is I am gun! Cartoon Cyclonus shows up with instant authority and a brand new job. Follow Galvatron around and stop him eating the scenery. He's not a second in command, he's a carer with afterburners. And yes, the eternal debate over who he used to be. I do not care! He is Cyclonus now! Moving on to more than meets the eye, comic hands and religious trauma. And tailgate a porcelain teacup of a person. Suddenly our space paladin is learning feelings like a baby deer on ice. Still a murderer with wings. He's just trying to be a more caring murderer. The purple brick of elegance, the emotional support jet, and the man most likely to say, I serve and mean duty, not submission! Put it on the shelf. Pretend everything's fine. Welcome back to Transformers for people with problems. Today we're looking at Swoop, the Dinobot who somehow managed to be the friendly one. Despite being a flying metal dinosaur armed with missiles, the G1 toy is pure 80s. Chrome, pointy bits, loose joints, and the vibe of something your mom told you to stop transforming at the dinner table. He's shiny, pointy, and has the posture of a man who slept on the sofa wrong. But we loved him because he had wings and didn't scream every line like Grimlock was being paid per decibel. Then Studio Series came along and said, what if Swoop had proportions? Sleek, balanced, charismatic, the first Dinobot who looks like he might say, you're doing great, buddy, mid-battle. And then there's fans' toys, the version you buy when you're ready to admit you're emotionally attached to prehistoric violence. Polished metal, ridiculous wingspan, terrifying presence, financial mistake, yes! Stunning, also yes! Swoop has always been the Dinobot who just wants everyone to get along, while still being completely prepared to drop explosives on a mountain if that helps. Right, put it on the shelf. Pretend everything's fine. Welcome back to Transformers for people with problems. Today we're looking at Springer, the Autobot who is good at everything and is deeply, visibly tired of being good at everything. The G1 toy is absolutely just a green box with hopes. A helicopter, a car, a robot. None of the modes look wrong, but none of them look like they were designed on purpose either. He transforms like someone gave up mid-sketch and just said, yeah, that'll do. Then we got the Generation Springer, the one that walked in like, hello, I am the blueprint now. Perfect proportions, action hero shoulders, poses like he's about to slow motion dive out of an exploding building while delivering a one-liner. This Springer has main character energy and knows it. Then there's Alan, the third party one. A large, chunky, lime green gym PE teacher of a robot. The kind of figure that says, we have lunch at 11 a.m. and you will run cross country. He's huge, he's round, he's absolutely doing his best. He looks like Springer after therapy and carbohydrates. We respect him. And then came Earthrise Springer, who feels like the designer looked at Generation Springer and said, let's do that again, but make it slightly more tired. Good articulation, good presence, just permanently gives the vibe of someone who's been caught between Hot Rod's optimism and RC's emotional availability for 37 consecutive years. Springer is the Autobot who says, yes, I'll take point again.
Right, put it on the shelf. Pretend everything's fine.
Welcome back to Transformers for people with problems. Today's problem is closure. Specifically, the fact that we will never get the ending to Dreamwave's G1 comic. It was written by James McDonough and Adam Paddock under the pen name Brad Mink. Mad Brick was a man that had a plan. Dreamwave's G1 ongoing felt special. It finally bridged that gap between the G1 cartoon and the original movie. The one we all imagined existed, but it did it without being a hammy Saturday morning kids show. It had stakes, atmosphere, and art so dramatic every panel looked like it was about to ask you for silence. We had mysteries. There was the forbidden sector of Cybertron nobody talked about. Shockwave was cloning things he absolutely shouldn't. There was a seal in the middle of the ocean, glowing, ominous, unexplained. What seal? What did it mean? We'll never know. Because before any of it paid off, Dreamwave went bankrupt. The comic didn't end, it just stopped. Like someone unplugged the universe mid-sentence. Megatron was monologuing, Sunstorm was ascending, Shockwave was mid-experiment, and Glad Chick's script was mid-email. Liquidation rolled credits. People still say, maybe someone could finish it. No, that universe doesn't get a reboot, it gets an audit. So yeah, we'll never get the ending. Just a handful of brilliant cliffhangers and one glowing seal forever in the ocean. Right. Put it on the shelf. Pretend everything's fine.
Welcome back to Transformers for people with problems. Today we're looking at Trypticon, the Decepticon who is simultaneously a dinosaur, a city, and a nap waiting to happen. The G1 toy is a beautiful disaster. He walks, not well, not confidently, but like a tired lizard trying his best after a big lunch. He transforms into a base, and by base I mean a pile of shapes you politely agree is architecture. Then Japan said, what if Trypticon? But with attitude, enter Gigastorm, the repaint with a mohawk. Yes, they gave the city-sized kaiju dinosaur a mohawk because sometimes design is about vibes, not logic. Gigastorm has the energy of a spoiled warlord princeling who has never been told no and genuinely believes he is the final boss of every conversation. He looks like he says, I earned this haircut you wouldn't understand. Then generations arrived and said, what if Trypticon had joints and a lift and didn't scream internally while transforming? He's massive. He eats other toys. He is a hazard and a lifestyle choice. In the G1 cartoon, Trypticon's entire character is, I was asleep and now everything is ruined. He is a walking natural disaster with the emotional energy of a hungry turtle. Trypticon isn't evil. Trypticon is tired. Right, put it on the shelf, pretend everything's fine.
Welcome back to Transformers for people with problems. Today's problem is us. Because at some point collecting stopped being fun and became maintenance. We tell ourselves it's nostalgia, that these toys remind us of when things were simple. But that's not really it, is it? We're not chasing childhood joy, we're chasing the moment before we lost it. Every shelf is a timeline, every purchase is an apology we never got. We buy order, symmetry, control, little engineered certainties in a world that doesn't stay transformed for long. We say I collect because I love it, but what we mean is I need it to mean something. We keep buying Optimus because he keeps dying and coming back, and somewhere in there that feels familiar. We fix the broken joints because we can't fix anything else. We rearrange the shelves because we can't rearrange our own history. People ask, what are you running from? And the truth is, we're not running, we're rebuilding. One articulation point at a time. It's funny though, we keep calling them Transformers like we're waiting for them to teach us how. Right, put it on the shelf, pretend everything's fine.